last week, one contestant in particular stood out to me.
Tonight on Hard Quiz, Neil, student, expert subject, The Adventures of Tintin. Here's your host, Tom Gleeson.
Yes! Hello. Back to you, Barry. Hello, welcome to Hard Quiz. This show is like a gravitron. Last one to spew will be tonight's Hard Quiz champion. Now, Neil.
Hello.
You're studying dentistry.
That's right.
And you've worked at a call centre and you're a Bollywood singer.
Yeah.
Are you stereotyping yourself?
Well, they do go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah. Where do you study dentistry?
I'm over at Orange, actually, Charles Sturt University.
Oh.
I'm a bit like you, actually, isn't it? We
Well,
both don't have feelings. Feelings.
Dishing the burn to Tom Gleeson. His name is Neil. Expert topic, Tintin. He was from Port Macquarie and from Orange. And straight away I thought, who is this guy? A little bit of internet sleuthing showed Hard Chat wasn't Neil's first time on the telly. Not his first game show. He was clearly a bit of a junkie, and I knew we needed to know more about this man. So, in between his first week back at CSU Dentistry School, Nilsam Gupta is in the studios in Orange. Neil, good morning.
Hi, Kaya. How are you? And hello to everyone listening as well.
Would you describe yourself as a game show junkie?
Oh, I am the OG game show junkie. I really got into it when I was in my previous degree. So I was doing health and exercise science, and even way before that, actually. I don't know if you remember, there used to be a book, a children's book,
Yes.
Finders Keepers by Emily Rodda, and that was one of my most favourite books to read when I was a kid. It was about a kid who really wanted to be on a game show, and he got pulled into a parallel universe through his TV and won everything by the end of the by the end of the book. So
and you thought, that's my life. I want to do that.
I want to do that. That'd be cool. And then, lo and behold, 10 or 12 years later, I was sitting for a psychology lecture at UNSW, and then got whisked away to record Wheel of Fortune.
All right, I want to take you back there.
Take me back, yeah.
This is you on
Yes.
Wheel of Fortune.
Keep on to Flagstaff Hill, live around Australia. It's time for your favourite game. And look, here's Larry and Laura. What do you know? What do you know? Mayuk, welcome to you.
Thank you, Larry. How are
Lovely
you?
to see you. Now you're studying health and exercise science.
Health and exercise science at the University of New South Wales. Hello to
All
all.
right. Did you do some muscle work on how to get a better spin out of the wheel? I'm interested.
I've been working out, if that's what you're trying to say.
All right, let's see what happens as we get set to play Wheel of Fortune. We start, as always, with our flip-up puzzle. First in. with
Neil,
the
what
correct
do you
answer.
remember about being on that show?
Look, it was actually all a bit of a blur. Once you get out of the green room and you get out onto the stage, all the lights come on and there's like lights, camera, action, and Larry is the ultimate professional. He taped 8 episodes that night.
Oh wow,
8 episodes, yeah.
That's
So-
a lot of work.
Yeah, so a lot of things that you don't really see when you're watching these TV shows from your living room is that there's a lot of things they do to make sure that everything runs really smoothly. And one of the things they told me was to bring 7 sets of shirts. And and I was wondering, hang on, why do I need to bring 7 sets of shirts? It's really weird. But they said that they're going to tape 7 episodes. And there is a chance that you could be the carryover champ for 7 consecutive episodes.
Oh, so you need to look like it's not all
That's
filmed on the same night.
Yeah. So
Right.
I thought, okay, there's no chance. I'm only going to go on 1 episode. And my biggest, there was 2 things that I went with 2 objectives. One was that at the time I really wanted a new mobile phone. So I was like, please win a mobile phone. Please win a mobile phone. And the other thing was, everybody that I used to study with wanted their name to be mentioned on TV. So you had, every single letter that I ever said on Wheel of Fortune was actually somebody's name that I was studying with. So
So you were set a challenge by your mates
they
to
were
get as many mates
to get
in
as
as
many
possible.
names as I could on TV.
Did they pick up on what you were doing?
Oh, for sure. They so what happened was so I was on my first episode was on a Friday, so I won that episode, became carryover champ, and then 5 minutes later I was recording the next episode, and Larry would come on, and it's all happening in real time.
You have to pretend you're all excited to see him again for the first time.
And if you look really closely during this episode, he actually goes, Mayuk. So Mayuk is my other name. So Mayuk or Neil. And he said, Mayuk, how was your weekend? And I said, it's great. I only saw you 5 minutes ago, but anyway. But yeah, so so they did set me a challenge, and I managed to mention everybody's name.
Good work.
Except to this day, there is one of my friends whose name was Sydney. Sydney, as in even the city, Sydney. And I forgot to mention his name.
Oh,
and he's
no.
held
Is
it
he still
against.
your friend?
Yeah, we're still friends, thank God.
Did you win a phone?
I didn't win a phone, but all I remember was I kept winning fridges. So I won. I
Fridge
think
for your mum,
yeah.
fridge for Sydney,
At-
fridge
at
for your auntie.
At one stage, I think I won about seven or eight fridges, and we didn't know what to do. And what happens is when you win these prizes, they sort of send you these prizes on the day that your episode goes to air. So on my first episode, I only won like a pair of sunglasses. So it turned up by courier on that day. But then I freaked out because I thought, hang on Monday, I won about 6 fridges. Does that mean they're all going to turn up at my doorstep? I don't have space for that.
Did they?
No, they didn't. Thank goodness.
Goodness.
They had better sense. They told me, no, you can pick them up at your own time.
Great. So then you could work out where they're all going.
Exactly. And my brother was studying. He was studying dentistry in Adelaide at that stage, and he had an apartment. So he just couldn't believe it. His entire apartment just got furnished by Wheel of Fortune. So
That's so great. Were you hooked? Was from that moment
Yeah.
were you like straight away you left and you thought, yeah, I got to do the next one?
yeah, look, I was so nervous in that first episode. My hand sort of slipped off the wheel. It was super
Sweaty
heavy,
palms,
and I made some real, terrible TV errors. But there's but as the episodes wore on, I just wanted to keep going. I just wanted to keep winning, and it just became like this sort of infectious feeling. And once I sort of got eliminated, it was a bit sad. I just thought, I wish I could get back there again. And that's when I really sort of started to really love the concept of TV game shows.
It's 20 minutes past 10. You're with Kaya Handley on ABC Newcastle and New South Wales. So great to have your company. My guest is Neil Sengupta. He's basically a game show tragic. He's a junkie. You saw him on Hard Quiz last week. I'm asking you about your 15 seconds of fame as well. You can share your stories. 1300 33 1233. Shane says, 3 years ago, I was visiting my sick granddaughter in hospital in Brisbane. Got in a taxi. The cabbie thought I was Darren Lehman. I do look like Lemo, but he would not let me out of the car till I fessed up. He was so thrilled to have me in his cab that he shouted me a ride. So I accepted. Yeah, you're not going to turn that down. 1300 33 1233 is my number to share your 15 seconds of fame. Neil, just
Yes.
how many game shows have you been on now?
You know what? I never thought I'd see the day where I'm trying to count how many I've been on.
Do you have
But
enough fingers? Are you
I
onto the
don't.
toes yet?
I'm on to the second hand, so
Okay.
I think I'm up to about 6. I think so. I've been on
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. I've been on Hard Quiz. I've been
Yep.
on Pointless.
Yep.
I've been on Price is Right, and I've been on Millionaire Hot Seat, which is yet to air. So it'll be
So you've
airing
had 2
soon.
goes at that, right? So
I've
you've
had 2
got
goes,
the new
yeah,
one
yeah.
and you've done the old one.
That's right, yeah. So it used to be just the straight up Millionaire Hot Seat, but now they've got there's a little bit of a game that they play before the actual Millionaire Hot Seat. So
And
yeah.
it's not just Australia. You are in basically the Indian version of Australian Idol. Why
That's
did you
right.
decide to, I guess, follow a bit of your heritage, what your
Yeah.
mum had taught you with
Yes.
Hindi classical singing, and
That's right.
give that a go as well?
Yeah, so I used to sing sort of Western classical. So I was in the school choir with my brother Sagnik, and both of us were sort of pretty active with that. And then my mum is actually Meeta. She's actually a trained Indian classical singer, and she's never really influenced us and said you had to sing this, but just out of my own free will, I just decided to give it a crack after I got into uni, and started picking up learning some songs from her and getting the diction. It's really important to get the accent and the diction right. And she worked really hard with me, and we started performing around Australia and around Sydney and just around this region. Mm-hmm. And then at some stage, she just decided that, you know what, you've done enough here. We need to test you out in the real, the home of Bollywood. So she just said, look, it's up to you, but do you want to take some time off and go and take part in their version of Australian Idol, which is Indian
What's it
Idol?
called? Yeah,
so
what's it
over
called?
there, it's called Sare Gama Pa. So that is it's like, you know how you have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basic. So do, re, mi, fa is sa, re, ga, ma. So that's what the name of their show is.
I love that.
Yeah, so they so what happened though? It was a bit of a drama. What happened initially was they have Indian Idol and they have this show, and I turned up a week before my audition for Indian Idol, and they were holding regional auditions for this show. So I thought, okay, let's just go give it a sort of a dry run. Let's go give it a practice, see what happens. And after about 8 or 9 auditions on the night, I think I was there for close to 12 to 13 hours straight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it was really crazy. What they did was they were only going to audition the first 8,000 people, and I turned up on time, and already they had let in 4,000 people. And it was crazy, the amount of people that were there. And I just used to walk into this room, and somebody would say, start singing, sing something. I would sing one line and they would be like, okay, you're through to the next round. And nobody at any stage wanted to talk to me. Like nobody actually said, where are you from? What are you doing?
When did they found out that you can only sing in Hindi? You can't actually speak
That's
Hindi.
right. So my trick is that I can actually sing in Hindi and nobody can pick up that I can actually not talk talk in that language. I'm fluent in Bengali, but not Hindi. So it's people don't really realize that. So once I went to Mumbai from Calcutta, I went from from the regional to the all India auditions, and they got down to the top, I think 80, and they had to whittle that down to 24. And when I was in there, so they have their judges, and one of the judges, we just had a session where we would sing a song, and they were criticizing, my singing. They were just saying that, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. And I just had the biggest smile on my face.
Because you didn't know what they were saying.
I had no idea they were criticizing me. So they
you were like, they're digging it. They love this.
And then they pulled over their directors and like, what's wrong with this kid? Like, why is he smiling at us while we're criticizing him? And then they realized that I was from Australia and I didn't understand what was being said, and it was just a big, huge deal. And I made it to the top 24. But what happened was, after you get into the top 24, they do want to sign some contracts with you. They want you to sign you up for a couple of years. And I'd only taken 6 months out of uni, so nobody at uni knew that I had got this far. And I told them that, look, I really wanted to meet the music directors. I really want to become a Bollywood playback singer. And I've met all the people that I needed to meet. And I promise, once I go back home and I reassess my career prospects, I will come back and I will become a Bollywood singer.
All right, hold that thought, Neil, because Daphne's called in from Kahaiba with some of her 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
Daphne, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Kaya.
Tell me when you were a little bit famous.
Yes, well, I've been a bit of a quiz junkie, and it's proved quite well over the years, but
Yes.
I wasn't going to ring up, but I thought, I might just ring up. But,
Daphne, I'm so pleased that you did.
Yes, well, quite a few years ago, I won a cruise and a swimming pool and a trip to Hong Kong.
Wow.
Then I was on Sail of the Century
Oh, I loved that show,
nice.
Daphne.
Yes.
with Tony Barber.
Yeah. So how many, was that just one episode you won all those things, a cruise and a swimming pool?
Oh, no, just over the years, Kaya.
Okay, over the years. Amazing. Can you see why Neil got a little bit addicted? Is it addictive, Daphne?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's sort of in the blood, isn't it?
It is. And once you really get into the zone, you just want to keep attending as many and trying to win as many as you want,
Daphne, I want to see you on Hard Quiz next. I want to see you up against Tom.
Oh, right.
What would your expert subject be?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful show.
It is. Daphne, great to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
1300 33 12 33 for your 15 seconds of fame stories. Gina says, my claim to fame, interviewed by ABC royalty Richard Feidler. Gina. I got in touch to set them straight about my Maremma livestock guardian dogs, best dogs ever, after another of his guests was a bit misguided about them. I have them on our farm and Richard was fascinated by their amazing abilities. Love your show. I love you, Gina. Thank you for texting in. So, Neil, have you hit Bollywood goals yet, or is that still on the cards?
Look, it's still on the cards. Look, my parents have been sort of a huge influence in this side of things, especially my mum, Mita. My dad got him as well. Both of them always maintained, especially my mum, maintained that, you know, it's great that you're studying dentistry and you want to become a dentist and you want to do that from 9 to 5, but you should always have some extracurricular activity, something to take your mind away from the rigors of, you know, daily life. So I literally use the singing and the quiz shows to take my mind away from you know, the stresses of from day-to-day life.
And you do perform around the Central West, right? We can see you doing Bollywood around that part of the state.
So if you're in the Orange region on the 23rd of March this month, I'm actually performing at Harmony Day. So
great.
There is a Harmony Day celebration in Orange, and I will be performing. And at the moment, actually, I'm at the uni, so there's an Indian Cultural Society. So whenever they have some sort of an event, I'm always singing or doing something.
All right, so you've got another Millionaire Hot Seat coming up. That'll
yes.
be your 7th game show.
That'll be 7th, yeah.
What is still on the horizon? What would you really like to get on?
Oh, look, you know what? I do want to get on. I think even when I was growing up, and I'm glad Sailor of the Century was mentioned, I really hope one day Sailor of the Century comes back, because I always thought that was the epitome of quiz shows, you know? And it's just not on TV at the moment, but I'm sure these things make a comeback at some stage.
You never know who's listening, what TV
no,
exec is listening right now, Neil.
But at this stage, whatever's on TV, The Chase is next on the horizon. So hopefully I can get on that. And my brother Sagnik, he's a dentist over at Port Macquarie with Port Smiles. So he and we make quite a team when it comes to quizzes and trivias. We were both on Pointless and we won. So
I'm sad that Family Feud is gone. I think your family would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
so
look,
good to watch.
Family Feud.
Get your mum in there.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot to mention, I was actually also on Game of Games. Game of Games. That's right. Yeah.
So you're coming up to number 8.
Number 8.
So number 9,
yes.
we want to be The Chase.
That's it, The Chase, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we get good old Sailor of the Century coming back. Maybe. Let's
Neil,
see what happens.
I just love your passion for something that is so entertaining.
Oh.
I loved you. As soon as I saw you on Hard Quiz, I was like, I need to know more. And I'm really glad that we could connect.
Now, I just wanted to say, like, if anybody wants to follow my music and my journey, I'm very active on YouTube. I'm very active on my Facebook artist page. So
great.
So Facebook.com/I am Neil Sengupta or YouTube.com/Neil Sengupta. So
and we'll see your face on our TV screens very short.
I hope so. Yeah, and I hope you can support me all the way. It'd be awesome.
Neil, so great to get to know you a little
Thanks,
bit more.
Kaya.
Thank you
Thank you so
for
much.
spending the time with us this morning.